Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Ablesys webinar. Ron here, and I'll go over the signals and the charts and we'll take a look at things. Intraday has been very choppy because of the very low volatility on the market. What does that mean? It means the market's not giving anybody much of a chance to make any money. There's just been very low volatility, very small little choppy moves, and there hasn't been many trends at all. So we're kind of fighting that intraday. But actually, the end of day, the position trading and the swing trading has been excellent. That's been really good. It seems like they change. It seems like maybe a month or two or something will go by, a couple of months we'll say, and the intraday trading will be great. Then all of a sudden, a couple of months will go by, and the end of day trading, the longer term, or the swing trading will be great. Just the way the market works, nobody has any control over that. Nobody can move it. All we can do is just use the charts and use our guidance charts, which is a combination of the two time frames combined into one chart, which is at least going to help to alleviate some of the choppiness and some false signals that way. So that definitely helps, because I took the indicators off of Abletrend today and put other indicators. In other words, put your basic, MACDs and moving averages and stochastics, and oh my, it was ugly. It was really ugly. It was a heck of a lot worse. That's for sure. But let's jump in and take a look at what's been working so well. We have a lot of clients who do more position trading. They don't want to be in front of their computer or have no interest in intraday trading, and because Abletrend will work just as well for long term as it will for short term. And the rules are the same. We look for the first blue bar, blue dot, blue X combination. The X is the support on the weekly chart. The blue X. The red X is the weekly resistance. So anything red means uptrend, a downtrend. Anything blue means uptrend. So we've got a blue bar, well that means up, a blue dot here, a small dot, that's a support point, which as you can see very accurately stopped the price from going, or blocked it from going any further lower. We were stopped out there. I'll get to that in a minute. But you can see blue bar up, blue dot up, blue X. Higher time frame even says up. So when you have that combination, you've got three indicators, three different algorithms all saying it's going to go higher, which is good. That's nice to have that kind of confirmation. And you have two different time frames. So you've got a lot of confirmation going in our favor, triple confirmation. We just like to put the stop loss just a little bit lower than the bottom of that first blue bar. If we were going short, we'd put it just a little bit higher than the top of the red bar. In this case, we're going long. This is the NASDAQ chart, by the way. Fantastic signal. Anybody who was trading the NASDAQ, and you can trade QQQ, or you can just trade NASDAQ stocks, some high volume stocks, the software gave you a great overview, long-term view of what's going to happen in the NASDAQ. And you can see over here, each one of these black lines is a month. So 1, 2, 3 months ago, right in the beginning of the year, actually, software says jump all over the NASDAQ because you've got triple confirmation. And that was a fantastic trade, because we'd be buying it right here at the close of the first blue bar, technically the open of the next bar, because once the bar is closed, they will never, ever change colors again. So we're in at 66.75. We put the stop loss, again, the bottom of that first blue bar. It's always the same thing, whether we're looking at E-mini S&P, whether we're looking at the Apple stock, whether we're looking at the euro. It's always the same colors. Blue is up, red is down. Green just means sideways, and always the same guidelines that we go by. So we're going higher and higher. Everything is looking good. We put the stop loss now at the previous lower blue dot. So for example, when the price is here, there's the blue dot under the price. That's our protection. It's protecting our money, blocking it from going lower. There's where we'd have the stop loss. Of course, we start the stop loss down here and work it all the way up. The key is in stop loss management. That controls our risk. As long as we've got a stop loss in place, we, of course, don't want it too close to the price, because any little pullback will get stopped out, and that wouldn't be good. Often it'll get stopped out and shoot up, and then you're left behind. At the same time, you don't want it too far away, So if the price pulls back, you don't want to have a lot of give back. So the software is going to tell you exactly where to put your stop loss, and that's this previous or second lower blue dot under the price. There'd be your first one, there'd be the second one. So we're stopped there here, but that was a 200-point gain in the NASDAQ. Now, you can trade options on NDX, you can just trade the Qs, or just trade high volume like Apples and your Apples and Amazons and Googles and your high flying NASDAQ stocks. Perfect. Doesn't matter. Software works the same for everything. Okay. Now we're getting back in on a sweet spot. Triple confirmation. See, because a lot of people say, well, when do I get back in? And again, it's the same guidelines and the same rules and the same colors and dots, no matter what you're trading. So if you can read this chart and know where to buy and sell on this chart, well, now you know where to buy and sell on every chart in the world, because everybody uses AbleTrend, uses it for something completely different. It's real popular, for certain things like intraday E-minis, but it's just as helpful and useful as long-term stocks and ETFs and indices. We have many clients who trade options and do well with that. So you'd get back in again on what we call a sweet spot, and that's when after the prices pull back down and touch the blue dots, the next blue bar, the close of the next blue bar, we're in. That's right there. A couple of days later, we're right back in. So we've been in for this trade since, because it never had a red bar, never broke under the blue dots, never got stopped out. We're still in the trade from a month ago. The price was at 61.70. Let's call it 61.70. It's a 400-point winner in the NASDAQ. And I know clients who actually took that trade and are still in that trade. 400 points higher. That's a lot of money. Just following the AbleTrend signals. Stop loss right now would be right there. This blue dot is slightly lower than this blue dot. So your stop loss right here would be around 74.50. So we've locked in a ton of profit on this one, and we'll continue to stay in it as long as the price stays above small blue support dots. That's the key. Staying above the small blue support dots, we'll stay in the trade. Now, for swing traders, because I get a lot of people call and they like to swing trade stocks and indices, and this is strictly for stocks and indices only, not for futures or Forex. I like very much a 2-hour daily combination. There's only 6.5 hours in the trading day. So really what you're using is a 2-hour and a 6.5 hour. I always like that 3-to-1 ratio for putting the two time frames together. And again, same colors and dots, same rules. There's your first triple confirmation trade. Blue bar, blue dot, blue X. We're going to buy it right there. Just put your stop loss a little bit below the bottom of the blue bar, which, say right there. I use 2%, but you can use anything that you like when trading stocks and indices. And then as the dots go higher, we're going to move our stop loss up higher to the previous lower small blue dot. So here are those little blue dots. We keep moving the stop loss higher. Now, when the price was right here before this down move, we had the stop loss at that time right there. Second blue dot, second lower level of small blue dots. Remember, at that time, we don't know it's going to go down the next day, obviously. So we had the stop loss there. But that worked out very nice because, as you can see, we got a really good trade going right here. We'd be out at about 12:35. We got into this trade right here at 11.86. So that worked out really nice. And then we'd be back in again right here. Triple confirmation that we're looking for. Blue bar, blue dot, blue X. And we're still in the trade today. Why? Because we start the stop loss a little bit below the blue dots. As I said, I use 2%. And then you can, for stocks and indices. And as you can see, it's going higher. Every time it would hit the blue dot, stopped, bounced off, and it went higher. Today, hit the blue dot again, stopped and bounced off, and it went higher. The support dots are, very helpful and very accurate, and that's what kept us in the trade the whole time. This is going on almost 2 weeks now, and we got a obviously, really, really great trade going here. Especially you have a call option. You bought a call option, let's say an at the money option, when the price is $12.50. It's 1336 today. I mean, that's a huge percentage gain, and we're still in the trade. There's no reason to get out. The software didn't say to get out. And if you're following the Able Trend rules and putting your emotions aside, well, you'd still be in the trade. And there's where the stop loss would be, at that blue dot right there, which is right around 1320. So we've locked in a lot of profit where we cannot lose on this trade. Because if you're in at 1250 and the stop loss is at 1320, the worst you can do is make 70 cents, which is just off the top of my head about 6 or 7% in 2 weeks. Now, if you got a call option on that one, you can double or triple that profit. So good stuff right here, and I think you'll find it very helpful, especially that the swing and position trading have been working so well. Okay, so now let's jump in and look at a really ugly intraday chart, because this is the E-mini S&P, been a little smoother and a little less choppy than the NQ, which has been pretty much a total mess the past week or so. And usually when you get low volatility, which nobody can control, and I always check the VIX index for that, it's right around 13. When the VIX index gets under 15, the market gets kind of flat and sideways and trendless, meaning very little chance for anybody to make any money. It doesn't matter what indicators you're using or what kind of a trader you are. It just very, very low volatility means very low chance of winning. That's really what it means. Or very low chance of winning a lot of money. That's for sure. But we'll take a look at it here. Now, this is all pre-market. Actually, what happened today, unfortunately, the big move came pre-market, as you can see. The software picked up the signals, but pre-market, and we definitely don't like to trade at that time, because usually it's kind of flat. Really, there's very little volume pre-market, and you don't get very many big moves before the market opens up. However, today the big move came pre-market. Now, what happens usually is when you get a big pre-market move, the market then, at least for the morning session, is certainly sideways. Any big move in the market, whether it's during the morning or afternoon, really doesn't matter. But whenever you get a big move in the market, generally speaking, not all the time, but generally speaking, more often than not, playing the percentages, it just kind of gets choppy after that, sideways and choppy after a big move. And we had the big move, morning move, pre-market move, and I was like saying, this could be ugly. Let's see what happens. As it turns out, it was. So we would actually have gotten in right around here on the sweet spot. A sweet spot, again, is a pullback back up to the small dots, in this case the small red dots, and the bar went from green to red. Now, intraday trading, we use the two green bar rule, meaning we put a stop loss a half a point above. If we get 2 green bars in a row, it's kind of like an early warning of the trend slowing down. So we put the stop loss a half a point above the higher of the 2 green bars for ES, 1 point for NQ. So anyhow, we'd be in over there, and we're basically out right about here. So it was a break-even trade. Fortunately, we for about about 40 minutes, there was no trade zone here, which is a good thing, because if you look, I mean, you can't win in this. It's just impossible. Up 2 points, down 2 points, up 2 points, down 2 points, up, sideways, up. It's just a mess. Good thing we just had a no trade zone there and didn't have any trade at all. There's a triple confirmation buy signal, and that turned out to be a small loser on that trade, because we'd be out on the red bar, red dot. We got in, and our stop loss was a little bit under the blue dots, although we didn't hit the stop. But it looks like we lost about a point on that, 1.5 on that trade. Okay, we had a sell signal, a short signal here with triple confirmation. But again, that's the good reason why we put our stop loss just a little bit above when we have 2 green bars in a row. That was a small loss there. Let's call it a point. And then, it was just kind of ugly the rest of the day. Again, stop losses, we only got the stop loss about a point and a half away. So there's not a lot of risk on these trades. But we just had a few losing trades here. It just didn't work out. Fortunately, no trade zone there, no trade zone there. That's a valid trade right there. And that's about a half a point stop loss. So that nobody got killed on that. But we had no trade zone here, no trade zone here, no trade here, and here. We had 4 no trade zones in the first 2 hours of trading, which turned out to be a good thing. Okay, triple confirmation trade there. Stop loss a little bit at the bottom of the bar right there, which we did get stopped out. We had a nice little sweet spot here. Finally, finally something that worked out really well, and we'd have been stopped out. Here's 2 green bars. Now we moved the stop loss even higher. 2 green bars there, so we got stopped out there. All right, that worked out okay. We picked up about 2.5 points on that trade, so that helped to clean up a couple of the earlier losses. Obvious no trade zone there. Unfortunately, this big move, which came in what we call the dead zone, usually between 12:30 and 2 Eastern, is a dead zone. So we recommend not trading during that time. Some people do anyhow, and that's fine if you do. But you playing the percentages, the dead zone, going back over a year and a half, 2 years of trading, we found that it was about a break-even trade. Some days were winners, some days were losers. Most days it was flat and sideways. Well, just to really rub it in today, the best move, well, not the best move, but a good move came. One of the best moves of the day came during the dead zone. So, that just really kind of rubbed it in. But, I call it like it is. You know that by now. I don't cherry pick, and I tell it like it is, good or bad. I mean, we're gonna go over this chart, and we're gonna show where the signals were. We've had fantastic days, and you get a day like today where I repeat, it doesn't matter what indicator you're using, what you're trading. It just was not a good day. But I tell it like it is. I'm going to show that. I show the winners and the losers too. It's about real life trading here, and we're very serious about our trading. So we're not going to just gloss over that like other people might do. Triple confirmation trade there, and that turned out to be about a break even. Again, good thing, another trade, no trade zone here, and it went sideways, so that was good. No trade zone there. Well, we didn't miss anything there either. Short trade here, stop out, maybe 1/4 point loss, so small loss there. Another no trade zone. That's a valid trade right there. Again, 1/2 point loss. I mean, just a bunch of small little losses, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So pretty much the end of the day right now. That's about the 4 o'clock New York close right there. So a lot of small little losses. A couple of winners, but it was a losing day as a whole. Nobody got killed, but it wasn't a fun day, that's for sure. ES again, much more stable, much less choppy than NQ the past week. So if you're a regular NQ trader, you may want to kind of keep your options open and take a look at ES just to get out of this real ugly choppy period. Of course, who knows, right? Tomorrow, actually Wednesdays have been the best days of the week, and I watch this very closely, all day, every day for like 15 years. Don't ask me why. I don't have a reason for it, but all I can say is, the last couple of months now, not just a few weeks, but the last few months, Wednesdays have been very trending, and we've had big winning days on Wednesdays. Of course, watch tomorrow. It'll be a terrible day, but a sideways choppy day where nobody can win. Doesn't matter who you are, able trend or non-able trend user. You can't win when it's sideways and choppy, but the volatility is low. What we can do is just have at it and stick with it, and keep using the guidance chart, because at least that's keeping us out of trading like half the day. Otherwise, it would really be a disaster, because I had some people inquire about able trend today, that non-able trend users, people who never haven't used it, and they just said they just got completely annihilated the last couple of days. I said, well, we haven't won either, so I'm going to tell you like it is, but at least we didn't get beat up too badly. So that's just how it is. This is the ES, Gary, Alan. If you're up early trading the, Alan saying, if you're up early trading the FX markets, I'm just trying to read the rest of that. Why is this not going? Try that again. If you're up early, could have traded the FX markets, yes. If you're up early, the early morning markets, the good, or the currency markets and crude oil. those are the better markets to trade, usually up early. Although today, the ES was really good. Michael Z took an entry on 931 after the 930 close, made a few points. Yes, you certainly can do that. Absolutely. If you're in a buy signal or a sell signal at the 930 in New York, or we're Eastern time, Michael's Eastern time. So if you did want to take that trade, which would be right around in here at the 930 open, yes, you certainly can. It was already in a triple confirmation trade. Just put your stop loss top of the bar that you're getting in, which would be right here. Half a point in this case, Michael. And yeah, that went down and picked up a couple of new points. But yeah, always at 9:30 is technically a new session. That's correct. And you can even, like, if I even put volume on the chart here, and I'll show you what I mean. Why I always say 9:30 is like the game starts over again. And if I add volume to the chart, look right there. That pretty much shows it to you right there. Look before 9:30, and here's the 9:30 bar right here. And again, 9:30 would be 6:30 Pacific time, of course. It's it's the same thing. It's only 3 hours earlier, which would be 8:30 Central. Look at the volume, before the market opens at 9:30 Eastern. It's just no volume at all. It's just now look over here. This bar right there, that's your 9:30. That's 9:30. It just boom. It just spikes like 10 times the amount. You had 900, not even. You had about 900 contracts traded 1 minute before the market opened, and then right after that, the very next, you had 1,200. Oh, I'm sorry, 12,000. So you had about 15 times the volume came in at that point. So that's why I always say a new session starts. So just be careful on that. Michael's been using the 2 green bars on the NQ and 3 on ES. I'd go to 2. I'd go to 2, Michael. Yes, sir. Because the market's just been so choppy and so sideways. Yep. Okay, well, hope this was helpful for you. I'm here every day. I'm always glad to help anybody new. You certainly can try Abletrend. You can order the 1-month trial right now online. I'll gladly do a live one-on-one trading session with you once you're all set up, which is very important. Anybody who's on a trial now who has not had a one-on-one trading session, I guarantee you'll learn more and retain more and be glad you did in the 15 minutes we talked together than you would watching the software yourself for a whole month or watching these webinars, because you can only get so much out of it. However, I recorded these webinars and they're done twice a week, and anything new that comes about, which I'm always working on something, and I can tell you now, I do have something in mind for the Thursday webinar, which is for Abletrend clients. We'll talk more then. I still have a few more days of testing that. So we'll see what happens, but take advantage of the one-on-one trading session. We have tech support here to help. I hope that I was helpful, and I'll always be glad to do anything that I can. Just let me know how it's going, and I'll be here to help. Thanks for being here.